You're in the VIP section of Black Women in Radio, the podcast, a decade of the new woman. I'm your host, Felèsha Love, along with our special guest, Leigh Hamilton.
At 6 o'clock, that's when he brushes his teeth, and that's when Gigi has to brush her teeth too. So we FaceTime and we brush our teeth together.
Oh, that is too cute. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit behind everybody that I know. I had children so late, so mine are millennials. So I'm like, I'm trying to be patient, but I am looking forward to being a grandma.
John, my son and his wife, they tried getting pregnant for a while. They were married for a while. Mm-hmm. And they were trying to get pregnant, and nothing was working, and they went through the treatments, and then all of a sudden they just got pregnant. They didn't need to do the artificial insemination. They didn't do any of that. They came to the house and they showed me this little Polaroid of this little thing, and they said, I want to show you their dog's new puppy. They said, I want to show you the dog's new sibling or whatever. And I said, okay, give me this picture. And I thought it was a picture of a puppy. I said, okay, just give me the picture of the puppy. Okay. Yes. And there he was in his mommy's stomach.
Oh, how adorable. I've heard so many stories about couples trying to get married and not get married, but have children. Yeah. And once they relax and accept, somehow the child comes, and it's amazing. So when you're, there's a little resistance in, gotta have it now. When you start to relax in accepting what is, the child comes. I've heard so many stories like that.
Yeah, they did. And they went through so many artificial inseminations, and they also joined this. There was, they also got a grant from a organization. I wish I can remember the name of the organization. It's a Black organization, and they give a grant. It's to Black couples who need money for all the artificial inseminations.
Wow.
Well, so they got the money, and because they were getting ready to do it again, but they got pregnant naturally. And so they gave the money back, and and that's so it's it just makes me tear up every time I think about that.
It's beautiful. And if you happen to think of the name of that organization, please let me know so I can share it, because there may be some people out there who are interested in becoming pregnant. Since we're on the subject, let's talk about motherhood during the time of career. So what was that like for you?
Actually, my career was the best thing to have a child, because I only worked 4 hours a day. And I actually started way before I had my son, because, I was on the air at my college station, Emerson College in Boston. And then WILD heard me and called me over there and blah, blah, blah. But it was really the best thing, because I was home to put him on the bus.
Yes.
I didn't start work. I had afternoon drive, so I didn't start work. I was able to go to all the parent-teacher conferences. Mm-hmm. I was able to ride the big yellow school bus on the trips.
That's right. Yeah.
And so for me, it was absolutely perfect. I really thought it was like, God, you really planned this out really well for me.
Yes.
Yes. I appreciate that. But yeah, I had enough. I had a lot of time. John and I, Sundays were our sitting back, listening to music and reading days.
I love it.
So we would sit back, and I'd say, okay, so this is Miles Davis, and this is Beethoven, and this is Junior Walker and the All-Stars. This is all of this.
Love that.
So it was really nice. And John would come up to the studio sometimes, and he would be my help. But I've dragged him around from pillar to post.
And we do. We do. We do.
I drag them around, but I felt blessed. I was able to have, my son,
Mm-hmm.
And have a job that I liked.
I talk to a lot of women who we reminisce about being in the studio with our children,
Yes.
and depending on the day part, sleeping bags and snacks.
Yes.
Teaching them when the on-air sign goes on, or if you see this red flashing light, don't even breathe until mommy is done talking.
Right,
but
right.
Those are really precious times. I thought the same. I really thought that my career would be marriage, then have children, and they would all fit into my career because it's only requiring the 4 hours. And I got a snippet of it, but then, we all have different paths. Life turned around and did a couple of backflips, but that was okay. We had a really, really wonderful experience. My girls are in their 20s and they totally remember being in the studio with mommy. Yeah.
Right. And radio was so, they didn't mind having children there. I worked with some really good program directors and general managers, and John would take the records off, because, I've been doing this for a very long time.
Right. I hear you saying records. I'm sure people are listening are like, records. Yes, they were wonderful.
And you have to cue them up, you know.
Have to cue the records up. That's right.
Yeah. So, John would, come there. One time he took the needle off the record while it was playing.
Oh my.
And it's a learning curve.
It is. Tell me about your career though. How did you get started in radio?
Oh my goodness. Radio picked me. I was on my school's radio station, Emerson College's radio station. Had a little show once a week for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And I could play everything that I had. So, I'll play down my albums.
Yeah.
And in Boston, there had a couple of clubs. So if I went to the clubs and saw a musician or artist, I would say, do you mind coming up to my college radio station? And I interviewed Donny Hathaway.
Oh, how cool.
And it was like, wow. And then you get a sense from Donny. It's like when I told friends of mine that he was coming, and he even said, I'm not very good around a lot of people. Mm. And I said, okay. So I told my girls, I said, you got to hold off. You can't gush over him.
Yes.
And I remember when I put him in the cab and he was going home, he said, thank you for making this a very nice evening. And I was like, wow, Donny Hathaway. Wow.
Isn't that is so cool.
Yeah. So that's so I worked at the college radio station, and Emerson College had like a 60-mile radius on their FM channel. Mm-hmm. And then one day I got a phone call from WILD. They need an afternoon jock. And WILD was the black radio station, and it was AM, and it was at that time. And when I did afternoon drive, since it was a daytime radio station, that meant when the summer came along, I probably wouldn't have a job. Right. So that lasted. And then I went to this, somebody suggested that I just take my tape and resume and have this program director on this rock station, just look. So I went there and I said, well, look, tell me what I need in order to move and, help me out. What do I need on an air check? And they hired me. And it was like, whoa, okay. So, and from there, it's been like that, I've had spells where I didn't have a job. But I just keep thinking, I was so blessed. I was blessed, and I was fortunate, and I had adventures. I didn't stay in one market. I've worked in four markets. And it was like an adventure to me. When I moved to Chicago, it was like, oh, Chicago. And I did afternoon drive at V103. And I was like, Chicago, I've never been there. Okay, yay.
Yes.
And, I've worked in Boston. I worked in New York. I worked in Philadelphia and now DC.
I love it.
So I've just had an adventure.
That's really what radio was like to me. I understood it to be an adventure. I remember graduating from college and being told, okay, don't accumulate a whole lot of stuff, because when you move to the next city, you don't want to have all of this, furniture and all of this stuff to carry to the next city. And I really lived like a little vagabond, I think, the first half of my career, because it was all about the new city and the meeting new people and learning the culture of the city. I love that part. So you are absolutely right. Totally.
We're like kindred spirits there, Yeah, it's from me, it was an adventure. I see, and this was before social media, so I didn't have Twitter. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have anything other than my kid and myself and a desire to travel.
And learning the city with the map. I used to just fill up the gas tank and just take my map and just blindly go.
That's it. I would call it Pee Wee's Big Adventures. Come on, let's go on a Pee Wee Big Adventure. Let's see what going downstate in Illinois is all about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I love that. Now tell me about SiriusXM. Now you landed that. You've been on Watercolors for how long now?
Well, actually, I was on XM.
Okay.
I was on Soul Street.
Okay.
When it was before they merged, and I was working with Bobby Bennett and Dr. Nick, and Bobby Bennett is just like the quintessential jock, gentleman. Unfortunately he passed, but he was just very encouraging. So and he let me have a little bit of freedom. I used to have a show called The Penthouse. In fact, this was a show that I did when I was in college. And then I worked at another radio station, and the one in New York. I had The Penthouse. And then part of Soul Street, I had the 2 hours at the end to be in The Penthouse.
I love it.
And so that's how I got into satellite radio. And I really believe in that medium. I mean, I was so thrilled to work in that medium. It was different. It was
Tell me. Yeah, I want to know that. How different is satellite radio versus terrestrial?
Because you're nationwide. You're nationwide. And this, I think, SiriusXM is radio and then some. It was Sirius at one point and XM at another, and then they merged. So when they merged, I got laid off along with a lot of the XM people, but a lot of the XM people stayed or they got recalled. And the thing about this is like, wow, SiriusXM, not only can you have it, since I'm on a tout it, here it is. It is on my cell phone.
Yes, exactly.
On my cell phone, and it has all these channels and it has video. Like, oh my goodness, today is Monday?
What is today? Tuesday. I had to think about it.
Oh my goodness. I got to pull it up because they did have a special show for Prince.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you have a video about it. There's a video for it. So it's like, wow, this is new technology. I mean,
absolutely. At its best.
Really, at its super best. And so I love it. I mean, I really do love it. I can be in, we're in all markets, and we haven't left either DC or New York or California, because there are studios all over the place.
Exactly. Now tell me though, the delivery is a bit different. So did it take, what was the learning curve like for you?
The delivery is different. But that's what being on the radio is about. You know, I've worked at enough formats to know that my delivery has to, if I'm working at a Black radio station, well, that's easy. We can go there.
Right.
If I'm working at WPIX in New York City, and it's a so-called white adult contemporary station that plays majority of white music, then I have to, you know, you have to go with the format. You have to go with the flow. And you have to, you ingest that format. You get used to the music. And I mean, that's just part of the job.
Yeah, it really is. And I've talked to so many other professionals about how radio has groomed us to be other things, you know, because it's like you said, it's a no-brainer because you've worked so many formats. So to put you in, you know, satellite radio or in a television station, you really have that level of comfort. What skill sticks out most for you?
About being on the radio?
Yeah.
About what the lessons that I have learned. How has it shaped me? First of all, I'm surrounded by music, all kinds of music. I was, as I tell people, I worked Black Top 40, White Top 40, Urban, Churban, All Night Rock Jock, and Disco Queen.
I love it.
That was all.
That's the gamut.
And I played nothing but love songs, and I hung out in the Penthouse. I liked being around people. The one thing that really scared me is when people started to recognize me. I like the anonymity of radio.
Wow, we are kindred spirits. I felt the same way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like knowing. So when I associate with my son, they did not know me as Leigh Hamilton.
Yes.
They knew me as Pamela Suber. You know, because that's, you know, that was my married name at the time. And because I didn't want, don't start gushing over me because I'm on the radio. You gush over my son.
Yes. Yes.
And if he's bad, don't be afraid to tell me, the woman on the radio, I'm his mother. I will kick his butt when I get home.
Exactly. Okay? Yes. Yes.
So, okay, now I lost my train of thought.
Well, how did you adjust? Because I love that. How did you adjust to knowing that now your popularity is not something that you can control? So how did you adjust to that?
It was easy. It was radio.
They didn't. I mean, when people started to recognize you, though.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was at a restaurant with my parents, and this woman followed me into the restroom. And I was like, she says, "Are you?" And I was like, "No." And I said, no, I'm sitting here. Really? All I want to do is go to the bathroom.
In private, please.
Yes, please. So, and I just said an immediate no. No. And I don't know how to handle it. I really don't know how to handle it.
Yes.
I'm not very good at that.
Yes. I do. I love the anonymity of being in radio and not being recognized. I love that. But when the popularity of the radio stations shifted and people became more interested in the personalities, I had a really tough time adjusting. I had a couple of opportunities to do television. I fought it tooth and nail. I would not do it until, much later in my career. So I follow you with that one, but I've never had anybody follow me to the bathroom.
I mean, because after a while, like you said, when you're out there in the public, and especially if you work in one market, and You know, I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things in Chicago. I did a lot of things in Philadelphia. I did a lot of things. So I was recognized, but I had my makeup on and I was all that. I didn't show up with no makeup and a baseball cap, on, to hide my, my hair.
Yes.
It was funny when my son was in high school. I would go to all his games. That's another reason why I love the flexibility of radio. I may get off the air and show up at games a little later, but I'll be there. I'm the loud parent.
Yes, yes.
And then this went on for a couple of, I would say about a year and a half. And then when I was going to my son's baseball game, one of the parents said, "We know who you are." And I said, "Well, who am I?" Who am I? And they said, "You're Leigh Hamilton." And I said, "Nope, I'm Pam Suber. To you, I'm Pam Suber.
Yes.
Don't bring Leigh here. Leigh is not in this mix right here. My son is the important one."
I love that. I love that, establishing values so that there's no crossover, because it's easy to get a little confused and feeling, who are you more committed to, the brand or the family? And you really do, especially women, we really do have to set those clear boundaries so that we're not confused as to what we're doing and how we want to show up in our families' lives. So I love that. I love that. So with all of the formats that you've worked, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Which was your favorite? I know. Because when you're a music lover, it's like, don't ask me that question. I know. I didn't say favorite artist though. So I did kind of give you a little leeway.
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't, it's being on radio gave me an introduction to like being the all-night rock jock. I didn't know who Yes was. I didn't know. I knew about the Rolling Stones, but I didn't know Yes. But it gave me a deeper appreciation for that. It's really hard to say.
I really think you hit the nail on the head when you said, you just adapt to the format. That's truly what happens. I remember working for a country radio station, knew nothing about country, but I left that experience loving country music.
Right.
Some of it. So, I totally get it.
You're a better woman than I am, no.
It wasn't bluegrass country. It was more pop country, so that little crossover. So that I actually really enjoyed, but I never thought in a million years I would be in that format, much less enjoying the music, but it happens.
I mean, don't you find that over a period of time, and you work different formats and everything, there's two types of music. There's good music and there's bad music.
Isn't that the truth? Absolutely.
And no matter what you do, like when I put together my playlists, it's like I'll throw in Traffic just as much as I'll throw in Prince, and I think that's the beauty of music, and that's the beauty of being exposed to the music.
Yes. Yes.
Even classical. I mean, I love classical music.
So do I. I've never played that format, but absolutely have it on my playlist.
Yeah.
So do I.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that and big band, Frank Sinatra. I love.
Yes. High five. Bam.
Hey, yes. I sure do. I have the Rat Pack on and Ella Fitzgerald and yes. I love that.
And then you see the progression of music too. What was popular then, because at one point, jazz ruled.
Yes.
Jazz ruled. And jazz just ruled.
Mm-hmm.
But it was popular music back then. People would go to the dance hall in Harlem and dance to, Duke Ellington with Ella. You know, they would go to the Savoy, they would dance. My mother would tell me about, you know, going down there and dancing with the dad, and, you know, and her skirt would go up, you know, she was like, ooh.
Yes.
But yeah. And now what was popular then, like your Duke Ellingtons, like, you know, all of that.
Count
They were
Basie
right.
Yeah.
And they were the popular artist at that time. And they were dance music at that time. Yeah. And now we're respecting the culture of that music and what it meant to us. And we put it in a category, a special category, a wonderful category that tells us about our heritage, and it's called jazz.
Yes, it absolutely does. Do you think we're doing a good job at preserving our jazz music?
I mean, you know, it's not going to have the same kind of audience, but there are jazz stations out there. You know, you listen to PFW.
Yes.
You know, they play jazz and they love it, and their passion is there. You know, I mean, that's where it is. That's where it's live. It's never going to die.
Absolutely. It evolves because I think that other formats adopt, you know, some music from what they've heard in the past. It's just like fashion. You know, it never dies. We just recycle it, repurpose it.
Or we change it up just a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
You know, we mix our styles up. So it's, I think that's just the beauty of music. The music is a snapshot of a generation, you know, and we move on. And every group, you know, rock and roll had their own feel to it back in the day. Yeah. And now they have a different feel. You know, this smooth jazz, this contemporary jazz is our jazz for our age. And that's what it is. I mean, music is just fluid.
It is. It is. I was watching Quincy Jones's documentary. Did you see that? Oh, was it fabulous? I had to watch it over and over again because I was I won't say too young. I would say too out of tune, probably. And the fact that back then there was only television. So if you missed a television special, there's no way to pick it up or talk about it. But I knew I loved Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. I loved it. But to learn that Quincy was doing the music made so much sense to me. And I fell in love with it all over again.
He spanned so many decades.
Oh,
and he's always evolving.
Always.
I mean, that's the beauty. I mean, Quincy is just the quintessential musician, author, writer, and he brings up these young musicians. I mean, he does
a great job at that.
Yes, he's supporting. You know, he's supporting that.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember there was a quote, oh my goodness, something like there are only 13 notes, you know, there are only 13 notes that exist in music. And look at what people create with just those few keys. It's mind blowing.
It is. I mean, it is. It's just amazing. And the deeper you get into music, you know, as we grow up, our taste expand. You know, when I grew up, it was like Motown and chess and, you know, it was all that, you know, listening to the Isley Brothers. And then it just expands from there because somebody will say, well, you know, if you like this, why don't you listen to what was played back in the 40s?
You'll find some flavor, some very familiar flavor. Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
And I think it's important that our children know this too. Because John and I, Sundays were our sitting and listening to music days.
I love that idea, by the way. I really wish I had done something similar to that with my kids. I love that idea because it sounds fun and it's creative and it's something, it's not boring because you're playing different music all of the time and introducing different music. It's just a brilliant way to connect with kids.
And that's the brilliant way. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that's a brilliant way. I don't know how brilliant it was, but it was like an introduction. Okay, you're going to grow up. Let me introduce you to this. Listen to this. I mean, you can give up the rap for a little bit, can't you? And when you listen to the rap, you may even hear the soundtrack behind them as being a jazz song. Yes. You know, I mean, music is all about connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about connection.
And healing too. Healing as well. Isn't it? Yes. Healing.
High five again. Here we go.
Yes. Because I remember being on air many times and getting a caller to call in to say, thanks so much. That song lifted my day. And my day is being lifted as well with my favorite music. So it's absolutely healing. And you really feel like you're connecting with your audience when they call you to let you know that, you know, I was having a difficult time or a difficult marriage, but your show did XYZ. So it's not us playing the music. It's not us creating the music. We're just playing the song. So I love that.
I think that's also, it's nice when, one thing I love about radio, it's theater of the mind.
It totally is.
And you can create an environment just by the words that you use. And somebody will actually believe they're there with
Absolutely.
you. You're sitting in the car next to them when they're driving by themselves on a long distance trip. You know, when I had the opportunity to really create an environment, I mean, people really thought there were a whole host of people in. When I had the Penthouse, and it was XM. I pretended. People would call me up, and I would say, "Oh, there's a baby and her husband, and they're in the kitchen," and then, or somebody brought some chicken, and they're going to be out on the balcony. You know, you use theater of the mind.
I love that.
There was this young woman who called me up and said, I want my mom to hang out in the Penthouse with all your friends. It's her 50th birthday. I need to buy the airline ticket because she needs to be there. And it broke my heart when I said, you know what? Your house is the Penthouse. You make sure your mom has a great bottle of wine and make a special day for her because she's going to be in the Penthouse just where she is.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So you did a very good job with theater of the mind. People are buying tickets for it. I love it.
I mean, they wanted I mean, I was shocked by that, but people, people will get involved in it. The people that knew that it was just theater of the mind, they would say, oh yeah. I mean, Baby and Bill, that was the couple. Baby and Bill was saying, oh, we're coming up and we're bringing the lobster. And I would say, great, bring the lobster. Yeah. Somebody else would call up and say, yeah, we're going to bring some wine. All right, good. Come on.
I love it. I love it. Now, is that something that you created on your own? Because I never in my entire career remember any program director coming to me to say, create, theater of the mind, any of those buzzwords, but it was something that just came with the package. Would you agree?
Yes, I would. And there was one thing that, I'm trying to remember the program director's name and which radio station. And he said, you are talking to one person. Mm-hmm. And he said, you are talking to one person. You're not talking to the whole city or your listeners. You're connecting to one. Wow. And when you think of one person, you can't help but have a one-on-one conversation because that's what radio is. It's intimate. It's very intimate. Mm-hmm. And you do have a one-on-one feel to it. You know that when that trucker is in that truck, you're talking to him.
Right. Exactly.
When that mother is up at night, you know, just trying to get the house together, you're talking to her.
I love that. I love that. You're absolutely right when it comes to the approach and how to speak to your audience. And I think that's where I was going when I asked the question about the difference between terrestrial radio and internet radio. You know, it's you're still talking to one person, and I don't think you can miss, no matter what you're doing, if you come from that mindset. I really like that.
Yeah, and that's the mindset that I've been in, you know, ever since that program director, because it was like I would tell him, you know, because when I first started out, I was like, you know, I don't get this, you know, I mean, how is, he says, this is what you need to do. You're talking to one person. And as soon as he said that, it was like,
it clicked. Yeah.
But when I was the all night rock jock, it's like, okay, who am I talking to? I'm talking to that one person who probably took too many drugs that night and staying up all night, you know,
yes.
Or I'm talking to a woman who's cleaning her house, but it's one person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I love radio so much. I just love it. I never wanted to be on TV. Mm-hmm. It was never my thing. I don't like I'm uncomfortable if somebody recognizes me.
Yes.
And so radio just gave me that anonymity, you know, the chance to be with people, talk one-on-one with somebody. And it's the best of both worlds. They may recognize your voice, but they may not recognize what you look like.
Yes.
So if I show up with the baseball cap on my head, mm-hmm. like I mentioned before, the parents of John's baseball team when he was in high school, mm-hmm. it took them a long time, you know, because I didn't go out and say, hey, my name is Leigh Hamilton.
Yes.
No, my name is Pam Suber.
Yes. I love that. It is such a pleasure to talk to you, because the beauty of what we do is our paths are similar, but there's so much richness in each person's path. And so it just really, it warms my heart to have an opportunity to talk to women in radio who get it, who get that radio is just a good fit. You know, I don't think too many of us were trained to be broadcasters. There are many, but I graduated from college, ended up on the radio. Who knew? And learned my skills from there. And it sounds like, you know, that's very similar.
You and I were on the same path.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the cool thing, to have these conversations. Oh man, that happened to you too. Let me ask you this: what is the most shocking thing?
I need to ask you questions. I need to ask you questions. No, seriously, but go ahead. Yes. Ask me my question, and then I can reverse.
Okay. Okay. The most shocking thing on the radio, most shocking thing that happened to you on air, and how did you recover?
You know, I'm 65. I got a lot of years, girl.
You're
I got
so
a lot of years.
Age doesn't mean anything these days.
I know. You know,
although we're like, dang, I forgot that.
Yeah, put a little glow makeup on. You know, sit back a little bit, so you know nobody would get out the lines.
Love it. I love it. Oh goodness.
Who it was? I'm trying to remember. Somebody was assassinated.
That's a big one. Wow.
Oh God. See, it'll come to me as soon as the microphone is off. But somebody was. I'm trying to remember. Okay, what radio station was I at? What city was I at? Blah 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 blah.
Well, that's not as important as your feeling at the time and how you were able to navigate the event. Yeah.
I was human.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, you have to be human. They may not know what you look like, but they have to feel who you are.
Oh, so much truth in that.
Yeah. They really have to get a sense from you because you want a relationship with them. Right. You want a relationship with your audience. Mm-hmm. And you just want a relationship with one of them. Mm-hmm. That's it. Just one. Right. So I remember, oh goodness, who was it? I remember the assassination. I ended up crying on the air. And that's human.
That's human. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And like going back to what the initial thing, radio is a one-on-one medium. And they can pick up if you're a fake, and they can pick up if you're real.
Absolutely.
So, and there are some days when I go on the microphone, it's like pulling teeth.
Because you're still talking to one-on-one, and sometimes there's no chemistry there. You've got to create some.
Right.
Might be the music that's not on, or yeah.
It's like pulling teeth. But that's like anybody's day.
Yes, human.
It's human.
Mm-hmm. It's being human.
Okay, so what got you into the business?
Oh my goodness, what got me into the business? College. And I was interested in radio, not necessarily interested in working in radio, but I was a communications major, so I figured I better learn a little bit of something. So I applied for a secretary position, a receptionist position there. And I was on the job one day, and the program director said, "You're not supposed to be up here. You need to be in the studio. You need to learn, you need to be on the air." And I remember the very first day I flipped that switch and nothing came out of my mouth. Dead silence. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness it was college radio. But then,
yes.
Of course I warmed up to it, and it has been a significant part of my life ever since.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's that aha moment.
That's right.
There's that aha. And especially when somebody writes you a letter and says, I love listening to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, wow.
It's like, I'm making a difference.
Likes me. Somebody really likes me.
Making a difference. Yeah.
But that's that one-on-one medium.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's one-on-one.
Are you using social media at all? What are your thoughts with that? Because I know when we were first in radio, there was no social media. We didn't have to worry about it. But now it's such a significant part of the job. So how are you adjusting with that? You're on social media. It's kind of a dumb question.
I am, but I'm not compulsive with it.
Yes. It's a job, Leigh. Oh my gosh. It's a job.
No.
Nobody has time for social media. You have to hire people for that because it's ridiculously time consuming.
It's time consuming. I mean, you would have to hire somebody here, do this, because I don't know how to do this. And then if you're a private person.
Yes. What to share, what not to share. Oh my goodness.
It's and if you're on the radio, you can't really express your politics.
You do have to draw back quite a bit. And even when you express on social media, you have to draw back a little bit, how do you feel about that? Because part of me, I want to express and not have to think about the brand, but you do have to think about the brand if you want the job.
Right. I mean, I can't go on and, give my opinions about what's going on in politics.
Yeah. Because you got advertising, you got your boss, you've got
and
the
listeners.
Next job.
The listeners, they may be the opposite of me. Mm-hmm. They may belong to a different political, they may have different political affiliations.
Right.
So that's when you have to go into that human thing. Mm-hmm. There's something that we all have. We all have parents.
Yes.
Children come along.
Mm-hmm.
People we love leave us. Or there may be unexpected death. I mean, these are all the things that we have in common. And it doesn't make any difference. You know, it's like, I don't care if you're black or white, you know, I mean, it's all about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, the people, I keep thinking about the children that were put in prison when they were trying to come from Mexico to the United States.
Oh, how heartbreaking is that?
It was
I cannot imagine.
Can you imagine their mothers?
I cannot imagine being separated, families being separated.
Right. Right. Yes. Exactly. And I think that's where what we have to remember as humans. There's a mother out there that's missing her baby. There's a baby in jail and these things that are missing their parents.
Yes.
And being raised by other kids and people who don't care about them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm getting off on things right here, but it's
very valid, and being human, feeling and expressing your humanness. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a time and place for that too, which is one reason why this platform exists, so that we can have conversations that we've all had, either, you know, when we meet each other at conventions or thoughts that we've been thinking and have not been able to express, because our humanness, I believe, as Black women in radio has not been really expressed. No. And so this is like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah. And usually, I mean, when I started out, I don't know how old you are, but I'm
up there.
We're seasoned.
Yes.
Seasoning. A little bit of hot sauce too. All right.
Hey. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. But when we grow up, I mean, we were only we didn't do afternoon drive. Mm-hmm. We didn't do morning drive.
That's right.
We were a sidekick if we did either one of those. Mm-hmm. And we were usually either late night. I mean, and I grew up in New York. I grew up listening to Lamar Renee and Yvonne Higginson, and, with Frankie Crocker and WWRL and eventually WBLS, and the ABC Good Guys. Mm-hmm. But there weren't any women.
There weren't any women.
Except as sidekicks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And did you get that memo? That really doesn't exist, but that memo that said, if you want a job in radio and you hear one or two women on air, that's not going to be the radio station to hire you.
Right. Absolutely. So they put us in middays. We got our midday shot, eventually.
Right. Right.
So, but I think we've come an awfully long way, because you see women as program directors.
Yes.
And I think that's the beautiful thing about SiriusXM too, because you have both men and women in a power, in a position of making a difference.
Yeah.
Like I work with Trinity, and who is top notch at what she does. She's just top notch, period. And then Lily, who comes on in the afternoon. And, you see a lot of mixture of things, that we see the gamut of the radio channels that we have.
Mm-hmm. Lots of variety now.
A lot of variety. And again, it's all on your,
all on your phone. App. And that's the cool thing too, because you can be in another city and still hear your favorite radio program, as opposed to having to be right within an earshot of the transmitter or the signal.
Right. So I don't know whether that's there's a part of me that says, but I do love local radio too.
Yeah. I think that comes from partly to being able to create within the programming theater of the mind.
Right.
And we just have to get better at it, because radio is evolving. You know, it's evolving whether we like it or not. And a lot of our local stations have been ripped away from us because of large conglomerates. But we have to get better at making sure each community feels heard, you know, and feels like they're a part of the programming.
Yeah, and they broke down the channels. You know, you have Soul Street, no, not Soul Street, Soul Town. You have you have music. They have Yacht Rock Radio, which is like the top 40 stuff back in the 70s. But there's a wide variety that would, you know, Latin channels, jazz channels. So there's a lot of variety in this in this little app.
I started beaming when you said Latin music. I love Latin
and
music.
They have a wonderful channel. I mean,
I listen to them.
That's what excites me.
Yeah.
I mean, I left my cushy job to go work at SiriusXM. At XM at that time. It was XM. It was like, I got to do this. I got to be there. You know, I can't do this is something new.
Yes.
And it is. And I've seen it evolve once they made the merger. It's quite something. You know, artists come in and record in our studios. So you can get up close, you know, if I'm there, you know, you can get up close and personal. You can see them perform, and nobody else is in the room except for the engineer and, you know, a couple of people from SiriusXM.
I love that. I love that.
So, and we're able to do a lot more. So it's changing the way people listen to music and get their information. They have different genres of music, you know, like in the jazz head, you have real jazz, and they stick to that. They stick to that format. So, like, I'm in contemporary jazz. Watercolors is contemporary jazz. Right. We have Soul Town. Soul Town is the older soul music from the 60s. Then we have something from the 70s. Then we have classic rock. We have hard rock. Yes. You know, whatever genre you like, we got it. We have it. And
it is the ultimate in programming, for sure.
It is the ultimate in programming. It is the ultimate in programming. And it's different. It's new. It's the wave of the future. It's the way people listen to it. I like the fact that I can listen to my favorite channel from here to California.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it doesn't deviate. So it's much like, you know, local stations at a certain time of day, you know, it's going to switch your programming completely from what you were loving. Yeah. So
it's got to flip.
It's going to flip on you.
You know what? Radio to me, whether it was terrestrial or satellite, radio to me is, I love it.
Yeah.
I love all the changes that come with it. I love it. So, and if something new is coming out, I got to be there because it's like, wow. Satellite radio?
Yes.
We heard coast to coast.
For sure. That's a broadcaster's dream, to be able to be heard all over the place. So it's either syndication or satellite radio to get you there. Yeah. Well, now there are more mediums. There are more and more, but to get the programming excellence that you know, satellite radio provides, it's going to be hard if you're on your own. You know, you can't recreate that. I wanted to ask you one more question, and that is, what do you see for Leigh moving forward? What do you see in your future? Is it radio? Is it writing a book? What do you see in your future?
I'm more in my present right now.
I can appreciate that. As a yogi, I can appreciate being in the present.
Yeah, I'm more in the present, and there are things. My whole focus has been family. I got a grandkid, You know, I have a little grandbaby, and I have a grandnephew. My niece and my son and their spouses and my sister. And it's like, that's where I'm the most comfortable. I'm at the age that I'm at now. I like having the friends that I've known for 60 years.
Yeah. It's a blessing to be able to have friends for 60 years. That's pretty good, Leigh. How'd you do that?
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, it was, and then the new friends, you know what I mean? It's, I think that's where I am at this time in my life. Do I want to conquer the world? Once upon a time I did. I like sitting down and, you know, talking to my niece, and hopefully be able to encourage her, and which, you know, and she encourages me and on the other end. I had a young Black male child that I had to raise, you know, and I see how he is and how he is a father and and how his marriage is, you know. It's like, okay, good. Okay.
Yes. Whew, God, what you talking about, especially being adventurous moms. We did have a little worry in the back of our heads, like, hope we're getting this right. You know, you're following mom and it seems to be going great, but in the long run, are we doing a good job? And it sounds like you are doing an excellent job, and it all turned out just as beautifully as you'd hoped, because the family knit remains, and that's our foundation, right?
That's our foundation.
Yeah.
That's our foundation.
It
is. It is. It's all, for me, it's all about the family. And if my family needs me, well, that means, you know, everybody else got to take, you know, get on the back burner there. But I mean, that's what drives me. I want to make sure my sister is fine. I want to make sure she's healthy. You know, I want to make sure, you know, my niece, she's a lawyer in New York City. Beautiful. I'm proud of her. My son, oh my goodness, you know, I'm so proud of my son, you know. It's with his MBA and working for a company that he absolutely loves and being a devoted husband and father. You know, it's like, I like that. I like that. I like being a part of that. That doesn't necessarily mean that later on I'm going to go beyond that. You know, I'll do something different, because I have. I mean, I have. But right now, my concentration are my grandbabies, my grandnephew and my grandbaby.
And you know what? If the quarantine didn't teach us anything else, it taught us
family.
It taught us family. It taught us what's really important, and it's not the chase, not for everybody. And I think that we were more programmed to believe that we weren't successful unless we were chasing something. But this quarantine really, at least for me, it has taught me, while I am ambitious, I am so appreciative of family, just like you've articulated. That is more important to me than anything else, is making sure that everybody's okay. I love that.
Yeah. And I think at this time, I mean, the quarantine is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a blessing because even though we're quarantined in our own house, we can connect through Zoom.
Yes.
Like you and I are doing.
Which is our social time, by the way, and I'm loving this.
Yeah. And this is how we connect, and we can see our family on Facebook.
Yes.
We can have the correct distancing. I mean, it's just, and plus this is also a time where we need to sit back and reflect as humans.
Absolutely, Leigh.
How do we move forward?
So
I'm not going to talk politics, because I can go off on politics right now.
Well, this is the show where you can talk about it if you want to. I'm just saying. Well, you know, I
can really go there, but we've been having such a nice conversation.
Well, I love the conversation, but I also love being able to articulate what's on our mind because we are the game changers. Each of us are
Right.
responsible for what happens next,
Well, yeah, and I'm really scared. I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you. I'm scared. I'm scared for the type of world that may happen,
Mm-hmm.
and that these are the people that my 2-year-old grandson is going to be in, and my 4-year-old grandnephew.
That's the truth. Yeah.
And it's like, what kind of planet are we leaving them?
Yes.
And why? And I feel like, what was that person? Why can't we all just get along?
Yeah, was it Rodney King? Rodney
Yes,
King.
yes, yes.
Yes. Absolutely. 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 It's all
Because
about greed. It's about greed. You know what?
greed and fear.
Greed and greed and fear. Absolutely. Because it's available in the media for you if that's what you're feeding. There's an old Indian adage, American Indian adage that says something like, you are what you feed. Are you feeding, the white wolf or the black wolf, the good and evil? And so it's all out there. It's all out there. But if we reflect enough to realize that we don't have to be a part of the machine, I think that's where we'll find our freedom.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be,
there's a lot of programming out there.
There's a lot. Yeah. And that's the thing about social media right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there is a lot of programming. I mean, and there are people that are actually making money doing all of this stuff. But it's like, there is a lot of counter programming. And this generation that's coming up that grew up in this is reaping all the benefits of it.
Right. But it's left up to us to also help them along with how to manage all of that, because we've seen both sides.
And bring accurate history.
Yes, and bring accurate history. Absolutely.
Accurate history.
Absolutely. I love this conversation, Leigh, and I do hope that you will come on again and join me another time. It has just been such a delight to meet you. We did honor you for Jazz Appreciation Month for April.
You did? I know. You know what? Wait a minute. I was having such a bad day. And I was like, I was sitting right in my little, this little love seat that I have in my kitchen. I was sitting right in my little love seat, and I said, I'm never on. You are on Instagram, right?
Yes.
I said, I'm never on Instagram. Let me see what's going on Instagram. The first thing that popped up was my face, and I was like, what is this? I mean, I was like, oh my God, what is this? And so, you made my day, girl. You made my day. You really made my day. And I'm so glad to meet you and to see you. We're going to be,
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's the whole purpose of all of this, is to bring us closer in, because we've got so much to learn from each other. And I am so glad that it's making a difference, because I have to tell you, when I'm on my phone as well, and I'm creating things, and it's weird because I don't create because I feel like I have to. I create because it's inside of me, and I can't rest until it's done. So that Jazz Appreciation thing, Angela Green told me about, that it was Jazz Appreciation, and gee, wouldn't it be nice to do a few things for Black women in radio who've not been recognized for doing jazz? And I was like, yes, why don't we? I could not rest until I got them done. So while I'm creating, I am kind of wondering, is this making a difference? Are you just going over the top, Felèsha? So thank you so much for saying that it did make your day.
It did. And I got to see the other females, the other Black females. It was like, wow.
Yes.
And I sit back and I'm in awe of the young women that are coming up now. like Michelle Wright. I mean, she has her hands in all kinds of pots.
She is phenomenal.
And
mm-hmm. She is phenomenal. Yeah.
She is phenomenal. And there's a lot of phenomenal women out there, but she knows how to brand herself, and she's down to earth, and she's genuinely loves what she does. And so, and then I get to see other women who do the same thing, and how from the time I started radio in the mid-70s and how it has blossomed into all of this.
And it does reflect in each of us, doesn't it?
Right.
Wow.
Right. It does. It does. To me, life is like a daisy chain. You have your time, and then your time is up, and you get that point where, another daisy dot, starts getting, connected to you, and it's like, and you pass the baton.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And I see these young women that are younger than I am, and seeing what all of the jocks, the Vi Higginsons, the Lamar Renee, and all of these women, the baton that they pass to me, and it's like, I see, this is the baton that's being passed to this new generation.
Yes.
And it's just like amazing.
It really is. We never would have had this snapshot, I believe, if it were not for a platform like Black Women in Radio.
You did that. You did that. Okay. I applaud you. I really do applaud you.
Thank you.
You did that. What a brilliant concept. What a brilliant idea. And
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I was shocked, because it's like, what? But it was like, and then I saw all the wonderful women that you interviewed. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah. I'm proud of you.
Oh, Leigh, thank you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate this. Thank you for giving us this format.
Oh my goodness. And thank you for sharing yourself with the platform, because there's no way we would be able to get the nuggets of wisdom that you have in one interview. So like I said, I would love it if you will come back sometime soon.
All you got to do is invite me.
Oh.
All you got to do is invite me. And we're girls. We're going to, at some point we'll meet. We'll have some martinis.
I am so looking forward to that. Oh my goodness.
As long as this corona, we can do it. We can just do one of those Zoom things. But
well, you know what? We might have to in the meantime, but I am looking forward to the live version as well.
Yeah. I really
down the road.
See this, I always believe there's good and bad in everything.
Yes.
The coronavirus is a frightful thing, and it's killed so many people, but it's brought so many people back together.
It's a beautiful way to look at it. That is very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. There's one more thing I would love you to participate in. It's word of association. It's a little game.
Okay. All right, let me put my glasses on. Let me at least look smart. Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So, R&B or jazz?
R&B or jazz? Boy, I can't make a decision between that.
I know it's not a fair question at all.
No, because I don't listen to it's music is universal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up listening to jazz. R&B was my mainstay. Funkadelics. Now I have to admit, Funkadelics. Funkadelics.
I love it.
If you want me to say, okay, which was my favorite group of all time? Parliament Funkadelics.
Oh, what? Yes. Yes. Okay, here's another one. Foot massage or no massage?
A foot massage or a no massage?
Foot massage. What did I say? I didn't even read my own writing. Give me your glasses, Leigh.
Here, try these.
Borrow those. Massage or no massage? Oh my goodness.
Oh, a massage.
Okay.
Luxury. And a foot massage is even better.
Oh, I do love massages too. Yeah. That is so funny. Sports or luxury?
Can I have both?
Sure you can.
I mean, I would like a little 2-seater Mercedes with the top that goes down. Yes. But I also like that's nice. I also like right now I have an Infiniti, a 4-door, and that to me is like a really great road car. Yes, family. Yep. Family. I can put the grandbabies in there. I can carry a lot of stuff in my car. But yeah, I would like a little Mercedes. Okay. I would like a little Mercedes, a little Beamer. I would like a BMW, whatever. Those are my 2 favorite cars, Lee. Stop it. High five. Bam. I know. It's more high fives in this conversation than I've had in weeks. How about beach or mountain? Beach. Religious or spiritual? Spiritual. Steak or sushi? Steak or sushi? Boy, they're like, I would go with sushi. Okay. Although I like a good steak, but I like sushi. Okay, wine or shots? Or water? No, I like my wine. I like my wine, but I like my martinis too. Ooh, I love a good apple martini. Yes, girl. Yes. Well, give me my apple martini. Oh, I mean, I even had a martini straight up once with the olives and everything. It was like, oh, this isn't bad. I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay, 2 more. Heels or flip-flops? Oh, I got to have my heels. And gym or TV? You said gym or TV? The gym or TV? Recently, it's been television. But usually it's a gym. I used to have a gym set up in my house. I have it and I want to reclaim it. But when my son and his wife were pregnant, I said, okay, I'm going to move all that workout stuff and put it in the basement, and I'll have a crib. So when the baby comes, he has a place to stay. And now the baby's sleeping in a bed, and it's like, get it out. I want my room back. I want my room back. I want to be able to have my headsets on and doing whatever. That's my dream. I do love physical activity. Yeah. Well, we do a lot of that in the studio. Do you do a lot of dancing in the studio? Not in this juncture. Okay. I mean, it's now when I was on the air. Look, until the Funkadelics come on, then we see a whole nother side of you. Oh, honey, I used to have the radio when I worked terrestrial radio. Mm-hmm. The music was so loud in the studio. I felt like a bad mom. I was like, my kids. Yes. But thank goodness they loved it. And they're fine. Yes. My son did ask me, Mom, are you ever going to grow up? And I was like, why? To do that? Why do I want to do that? I'm in radio. We don't grow up in radio. Amen to that. Who wants to do? My kids ask me the same thing. I'm like, nope. This is what you get. I'm sorry. You just better hope I don't regress. I think that's so funny. Yeah, that's true. I'm telling you, I know we are just total kindred spirits. I love it. Yes, we are. Yeah. Wow. Well, it is such a pleasure and an honor to meet you and be able to talk to you and get to know you. And thanks for sharing yourself with our platform too, Lee. Oh, you know what? Thank you so much. I feel honored that I was even chosen. It's like, really? This is really, I feel honored that you chose me and because I was worried, I'll be honest with you, I was worried about this interview. It's like, well, I don't know, what did I do that was so special?
Yes. And it's just being us, just being us, and being a part of the fabric of Black radio heritage. I mean, we all played a part in that. So of course you have some contributions. My goodness, you've given us a whole hour. Of a little bit. I know these conversations go so fast. I love it because I know we both have done interviews where it's like pulling teeth. Ooh, how long is this gonna last?
Like, and what's your favorite color?
Right.
And where did you grow up? It's like, Prince is another one. Funkadelics and Prince.
Oh yes,
that's another one. It's like Prince. Woo.
Now you want to see me turn a whole nother personality. You play some Prince. I have warned people, if you ever see me at a Prince concert and you walked away, I would understand, but that is Prince.
Prince.
So I am going to apologize now, but I lose my mind. I love concerts. And Prince.
I remember seeing a Prince concert. And Carlos Santana stepped out on stage with his guitar. It was like, holy moly! It was like
Carlos Santana, yes.
Carlos Santana and Prince, can't beat it.
You know what I loved about Prince is that not only was he popular music, he introduced real music.
Yes.
You know, he introduced real artistry, and I love that about him. At a concert, he would, like you said, Carlos Santana, who would think? But man, is that a fantastic concert.
And Misty Copeland having her dance.
You know, I missed that one, and I'm not happy about it. I know that had to have been fabulous.
I remember when I heard that I think I was driving home, and I heard that Prince died. And I was like, I was sobbing.
Me too. You know? That was tough.
I said, how? No, because I need to see him about 1,000 more times.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Right.
Exactly it. I felt the same way. That was really tough. Him and Michael Jackson and Luther Vandross. Those three were really hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luther took my breath away too.
Yeah.
Michael took my breath away, but for some odd reason, I just wasn't surprised.
That is true. Not surprised. Luther and Prince definitely surprised on those. Yeah. Definitely surprised on those. Michael kind of gave us, a vibe that things weren't quite right. So it wasn't, a complete shock, but it was still hard because those are the greats. Well, thank you so much, Leigh. Have a beautiful day. All the best to you and your family. And I can't thank you enough for all of the contributions that you've made in your lifetime to radio. So thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you. This is just a surprise and a pleasure. Because, hey, I'm just another working mom out here trying to make it.
Yeah, but we're pretty darn dynamic, aren't we?
Yes, we are. And one more high five.
Okay, Leigh, thanks so much. Have a beautiful day.
You too. So we're going to stay in touch, okay?
Yes, you have my phone number. I have yours. Please text me, call me anytime.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Be careful as you exit your VIP seats. They will be waiting for you next Wednesday when we talk to Melissa Summers. Make sure you subscribe to Black Women in Radio podcast on all social media and check out our website at www.blackwomeninradio.com.
Here we go! Those are the things that are going on behind the scenes that listeners, you never want them to feel that, you don't want them to feel that you're frustrated. You don't want them to feel that your feelings are hurt or that you're overwhelmed. But you just want to make sure it's an ultimate experience from them from start to finish. When that lane is ready for me, I will be here ready, still being Kiki. Yeah, Joe Schmo is coming in about 5 minutes, but I need you to do this interview. And that's just when you kind of like, okay, you remember, you know, this is what you do. I don't want to be anything other than Kiki. You know, I don't want to be the next girl. I don't want to be, you know, the other girl. I want to be Kiki. It was like if you wanted to play, you know, basketball, and I felt like I just ended up on the court with Jordan.